I did realise, though, is that there's 3,000 people that stand behind you. Is that right? About 3,000. So we have our amazing top performers in this room, like you are the leadership. There are sometimes, though, opportunities. And so one of the things that I'd love to maybe suggest to you, and it's very, very hard when you're really good at what you do, is to maybe sit in that space that says, I'm going to give up the need to know. Yeah, I'm going to give up the need to know. And I'm also going to give up the need to show that I know. So what does that look like? Well, usually when you get speakers like me or anybody up on the stage or someone coaching us, we lead with I already know. So there's a great term called always already listening. So it means that I'm going to preempt what you're about to say because it's a lot to actually give up what we know. So we've talked about how amazing you are. Your KPIs are incredible. It's hard when you're really good at what you're doing, but we can't go from where we are to where we want to be without changing what we're doing. Because if we keep doing what we're doing, and this is really hard because it's a thing called cognitive dissonance. And so when you know what you do, you hold what you're doing to be right, yes, it's giving us a great result. And then over here, there might be a different way, not a better way, just a different way that could propel us even higher. That's a scary place to be, to give up some of this, to free fall in the middle, to go to a whole new level. So see if you can challenge yourself during this to go, I'm going to give up the need to know. And you'll know when you sit and go, know that, seen that, been that, done that. I've been doing retail for 30 years. I know what I'm doing. And you'll know when you leave, you'll hear them, they'll go, oh yeah, it was a good refresher. Isn't it true? Yeah. I do that already. It's a good reminder. When we do that, the reticular activating system in the brain, so that's the brain, the part of the brain that goes looking for what you tell it. So our brain can only go finding what we actually instruct it to do. So if we come into this to go, I already know this, it's going to say to you, that's right, you do, and here it is. And that is why when people say, it was a good refresher, learnt nothing, because their ego or their lack of awareness around their ego stops them from dropping into vulnerability that allows them to go, oh, how cool. So be curious, not critical. Curiosity is like the best thing in the whole world.
Have you ever worked with a pit person? Some of you go, mm-hmm. I'm kidding. Is it true though? You go, yes, that's why I brought her. She needs something. Huh? And I always go, you can't change anybody in their pit. You can't save anybody. And when I talk about the pit, I'm not talking about real emotion. You know, I'm not talking about grief, genuine sadness, appropriate anger, appropriate frustration. They're good emotions. They're real emotions. Sometimes anger can be that one feeling you have that pushes you into that next area. Doesn't it? Get you mad enough that you go to that next step. So they're real emotions. What happens is we push the real emotion down and then the pit emotion comes up and it's over everybody. Now, what I noticed about America was that you guys are an incredibly polite nation. You're one of the most loving nations I have ever. That's why, and it's not why I live here. I found out that when I lived here, when I moved here. You're so loving. It's a loving, loving nation. You should feel good about that. People go, us? No? I go, yes, you. It's just that you never travel, so you don't have anything to compare it with. Yeah? You just compare it with each other. But it's true. And I worked it out. So on the 405 in Los Angeles one time, and I'm noticing that when people change lanes and you let someone in, no one waved. I thought, you rude bunch. And then all of a sudden I noticed, so we have the 4-way stop signs. That's training you to be polite. You take turns. Isn't it? Yeah. And so we have roundabouts. It's called kill or be killed. Truly. So I'm driving along and I notice that the moment someone indicates, they actually pull back and let you in. And this movement just happens seamlessly because there's an expectation of politeness. Isn't that good? Guess what happens there though? Sometimes you don't drop down into truth because truth hurts, because it stings. We don't want to be seen as being not polite. So as a leader, I won't tell you what you need to know to actually move to your next level. I won't sit in my heart pounding and give you the right feedback so that you can go to that next level, because I don't want to hurt you. But you hurt someone a lot more by not actually putting the heat on to see them grow.
But that's when we walk out of here, and Steve said it so beautifully. We all go together or we all go down. So if someone walks out of here and they go, oh, what do you think about that? I know, right? It's never going to work. I go, well, it's not going to work because you're going to make it so. Your brain has a reticular activating system, and whatever you tell it, it will go looking for, it will prove you right. It cannot do anything else. So if we control this, you are an exceptional energy as a group. You have magic. But there's a great line. Don't quit and stay. Quit and leave, or stay and commit. Yeah? Yeah! Woo! Because I'll tell you what, we might be sitting in someone else's dream. We don't empathise. So genuine emotion links to emotional empathy and intuitive empathy. So emotional empathy is where I not feel what you feel, but I understand what you're feeling. I get a sense, yeah? Now, I didn't agree with the Dalai Lama and Jeff Weiner when they had a discussion. Isn't that interesting? Who is Terry Hawkins to disagree with the Dalai Lama? Who am I not to disagree with the Dalai Lama? You know, that's the thing. Isn't it? We don't question anything. And they were talking about the difference between empathy and compassion. And they said, well, empathy is actually not that healthy, because when you're empathising, you're feeling what the other person's feeling. So if they've got a boulder on their chest, you know, you feel the boulder on your chest, but you can't do anything because you've got a boulder, metaphorically speaking, on your chest. True? Well, that's what they're saying. And then they said, well, compassion is where you actually do something about it. Well, they missed one significant part. And what was that significant part? What's that word that sounds like empathy but isn't empathy? We mistake it for empathy. Excellent. So they were mistaking it for sympathy. So sympathy is where you actually drop in. Now, you need to be able to drop into sympathy just for a moment. So what's sympathy? Sympathy is where you feel what? You feel sorry for them, you have pity for them. Yeah? You do actually pick up the person's feeling. Now, you know there are people that walk around going, I'm an empath. You know those people? I'm an empath. I feel what other people feel. Yes? Like I go home exhausted because they've sucked the life out of me. Yeah? We do it with extroverts and introverts too, don't we? Introverts go, oh, those extroverts, they're just so draining. And I go, well, that's how they feel when they hang out with you all day. Is it? Yeah, it's just the same. And so we have this, so sympathy, the part that they missed was, you have to, the ancient parts of the brain, the hippocampus, the hypothalamus, and the amygdala, we need to drop into those ancient parts to trigger the memory. So have you ever seen someone walking down the street? Yeah, or on a catwalk? Yeah, that's why I'm not wearing heels. I was going to wear heels, but I knew I needed to bounce around, and I didn't want to be conscious of just looking glamorous. You know? It's like I wanted to be able to be natural me. But have you ever seen them walking down, and then they go like this, and their leg comes up, and they look like a praying mantis that's broken their leg. Yeah, like the leg goes everywhere. How do you feel just in that moment? Like, what do you feel for them? Totally what? Totally what? You feel so embarrassed. Don't you? Some of us laugh, you know, some psychos. But the majority is embarrassment. Why? Because you've had to drop into that ancient part to remind yourself that you too have felt that. And then you come up and the brain pulls it up into the compassionate part of the brain for you to do something. So they left that middle piece out. Compassion is the action of empathy. Yeah? It's not either or.
So she goes, little Flip, how did you go? He goes, oh, Mum, I think I got a pony, but I just haven't found him yet. So go looking for your ponies. You are amazing. Thank you. I love